We're going to be here for a while, so get comfortable. And I'm going to read you the story of Ganesh and the Moon. This is from the book Myths of the Asanas, the stories at the heart of the yoga tradition. Ganesh, the charming elephant-headed god adored by so many for his generous ways and clever antics, is also known for his wild infatuation with all things sweet. He is often depicted with a bowl of prasad, sweet blessed food, in his palm, which he is never far from ingesting. Despite his love of sugary foods, he is a master of yoga, taking after his father Shiva. Ganesh knows how to balance indulgences and austerities, leaving him with a flexible, pudgy figure. On one of his exploits, Ganesh actually consumed so many sweet cakes that his belly was full to bursting. He decided it was time to head home and relax his stuffed belly, so he hopped on his trusty steed, a tiny mouse. Because the mouse is such a small vehicle, Ganesh has to practice extraordinary balance to keep his hulking frame on the erratic creature. The pair was cruising smoothly along when a very large cobra slithered onto their path and frightened the mouse. The mouse started one way and Ganesh fell the other. When he hit the ground, his overstuffed belly exploded and sweet cakes rained everywhere. This greatly perturbed Ganesh, who was upset not only by the cobra's disruption of his ride, but at the loss of his sweet fullness of his tummy. He walked around collecting all the sweet cakes and stuffed them one by one back into his belly. Then he snatched up the cobra and tied it around his waist to cinch it shut. All the while, the moon, Chandra, was watching the extravaganza and couldn't help exploding into laughter at Ganesh's crazy antics. Who indeed could resist? Ganesh was very upset to be the object of Chandra's laughter, and in a fit of anger, remember, he is Shiva's son, he broke off his right tusk and hurled it at the moon. Pierced by the tusk, Chandra's light went out. Ganesh cursed the moon so it would never shine again, leaving the earth continuously lit by the sun. With no night, no dawn, and no dusk, love was lost to the world. There was no place for romance, and men and gods alike became scorched and hopeless upon the hot earth. Ganesh was holed up in his palace when a group of gods came to appeal him to allow the moon to shine once more. Flattered by their appeals, Ganesh decided he could agree to a compromise. He would let the moon shine, but it would be required to wax and wane, shining at its full potential only once every 4 weeks. This, he decided, would be a permanent lesson for the moon, so it would remember never to laugh at him again. As for Ganesh, he always carries the broken tusk that signifies his momentary rage at having lost his balance. One of the greatest lessons the yogi can learn is that everything we experience has an internal source of energy, as do the sun and the moon. Within our bodies, the sun and moon occupy opposing halves. The moon presides over the left energy channel, Ida Nadi, and the sun presides over the right energy channel, Pingala Nadi. Ideally, we strive to seek a balance between both sources of light, basking in the moon as much as the sun, and learning to wield both types of energy as we progress upon our path to enlightenment. Ganesh may have taught Chandra a lesson, but the real lesson here is that steeped in only sunshine, all love is lost from the world. There is no softness, no shadow to define the landscape of our heart. Without a dawn or dusk, there is no halfway point in which to steal away during those wee hours of perfect balance between night and day. Within our yoga practice, we learn the truth of that age-old wisdom. As above, so below. As without, so within. As with the sun and the moon in the sky, so with those in our heart. And we seek to find as much joy in the shadow and lunar phases of our existence as we do in the bright and solar places of our life.